Hello everyone, Raptor Spank here with a Stiff Brew where I build a deck around an unorthodox or fringe card. This deck is built around Legion Marauder, the 3-mana 3/2, where every time it attacks, grant allied Legion Marauders everywhere, +1/+1 from Noxus. We have a Marauder package, an aggro package, and a utility package, so let's start with the Marauder package. The basic concept of this deck is using Legion Marauder and attacking as often as possible, so you get as many attack triggers as possible and your Legion Marauders get really big and difficult for your opponent to deal with. The first card in the Marauder package is Fading Memories, a 0-mana burst spell. Create an ephemeral copy of a follower. It's cheap, easy, and unanswerable way to duplicate Marauders. Your opponent can't interact with it, you get it automatically, it's burst speed, they can't do anything about it. The problem being that the Marauder it gives you is ephemeral, but there's some value out of that later in the package, and at least you still get one attack trigger off, and it will benefit from all the boosts that have already occurred, so it will be pretty big on its own. The next card we have is 3 copies of Blood for Blood, a 2-mana fast spell. Deal 1 damage to a follower, and then if it survives the damage, create a copy in hand. This is a reasonable way to just give you permanent copies of Legion Marauder in hand and increase the number. Obviously, the big concern is that it has to survive, and you deal 1 damage to the Marauder, so it's very hard to pull off before you've gotten an attack trigger. But usually you can wait in response to your opponent's stuff, or do it after your attack trigger where it's a little bit harder for your opponent to kill the Marauder in response, and so it's a pretty reliable way to get an extra Marauder in hand. The next card in our package is Callista, 3 copies of. It's a 3-mana champion, 4/3 fearsome, and she levels up after seeing 3 allies die. Her leveled up form is the important part here, as she becomes a 5/4 with fearsome, and each round, the first time she attacks, revive an attacking ephemeral copy of the strongest dead allied follower, and then any damage that would be dealt to her is sent to the copy instead. The important part here is that it will almost always bring back Legion Marauder, because Legion Marauder should be the biggest creature in your graveyard after several attack triggers. It still gets its attack trigger after coming back, so even though it's ephemeral, it's going to continue to boost any other Marauders you have, as well as just being a really consistent, frequent attacker that is really large and hard for your opponent to deal with. The next card we have is 3 copies of Splinter Soul, a 3-mana slow spell where you summon an ephemeral 1/1 copy of a unit that you control. The downside here, obviously, is that it's ephemeral, as well as the 1/1, so it actually doesn't benefit from any Marauder buffs at first, though when it attacks, it will get all of those buffs. And there is still a benefit to having ephemeral copies even if they die immediately. And that brings us to 3 copies of Mistcall. 3-mana fast spell, revive a random ally that died this turn. So this can bring back any Marauders you lose, and this actually includes the ephemeral copies. If an ephemeral Marauder dies and you Mistcall, it will come back without ephemeral, so it will then be a permanent copy of Legion Marauder. So you can use this to convert ephemeral copies into regular copies, or just to bring back your regular copies that died, so your opponent's removal is basically wasted. And then we have 3 copies of Chronicler of Ruin, 4-mana unit, 3/3. When you play it, you kill and then revive an ally you control. What's important here is that this is another way for you to convert ephemeral copies of Legion Marauder to full copies, because when it kills the ephemeral one, it will revive it without ephemeral, because Legion Marauder does not naturally have ephemeral. So it's a good way for you to take your ephemeral copies and turn them into permanent copies. That brings us to our aggro package. The basic concept of the aggro package is to just draw removal from your opponent off of your Legion Marauders into other creatures, while also just pressuring your opponent's life total to make it so Legion Marauder closes out the game a lot quicker. So we're starting with 3 copies of Legion Rearguard, 1 mana, 3/2, and it can't block. It's a simple aggressive 1-drop that draws removal pretty consistently. If your opponent doesn't remove it, it's going to pressure their life total very, very quickly, so it just gives you a much more dense threat package. The next thing is 3 copies of Oblivious Islander, a 1-mana 2/1. When you play it, reduce cost by 1 of a unit in hand and give it ephemeral. Now this can bring out Legion Marauders early, and as we already covered, there's plenty of ways to turn it from ephemeral back to permanent, so it can be very aggressive. And there's just a couple of really good curve outs that this card is capable of. For example, if you play it and you give ephemeral and -1 cost to another card like, say, Katarina, she will hit and level up before dying to ephemeral, so she won't actually die from it. but we'll cover that more when we get to her. The next card is 3 copies of Legion Drummer, 2 mana ally, 3/2, and support. She gives quick attack to her supported ally. The important thing here is that she can be used basically to protect your Legion Marauder, and she curves out perfectly. So if you support the Legion Marauder with Legion Drummer, it'll have quick attack, so your opponent can't even really block with it in combat. So it should help you get through the first attack without losing your Marauder, and she curves perfectly into it since you play her on turn 2 and then Marauder on turn 3. So she's just a really good aggressive card that helps you protect your Marauder. And then the next card is 3 copies of Katarina, 3 mana champion, 3/2, and quick attack. Put a fleeting blade edge in hand, and she levels up when she hits, and then recalls herself. The leveled up version of her is a 4 mana 4/3. When it enters, you rally, and also has quick attack. And anytime she strikes, she bounces to hand. Now the important thing with this is that while she is an aggressive card on her own, and the Blade's Edge gives you a little bit of control, the big idea here is to level her up quickly, and then use her leveled up version to get additional Legion Marauder triggers by rallying. So you can swing with Legion Marauders, then play her, then swing again, and you get double the triggers that turn. The next card we have is a one of Might, a 3 mana burst spell, give an ally +3/+0 and Overwhelm. It's basically here to help force through Marauder hits. If your opponent's gummed up the board with a lot of chump blockers, you give this to one of them. They'll probably be like an 8/9 or 11/9 or 11/10 by that point. So it'll basically just kill your opponent right there on the spot. And in a similar vein, the next card is 1 copy of Atrocity, 6 mana fast spell, kill an ally to deal damage equal to its power to anything. This is basically always going to be used to kill your opponent by sacrificing a really large Marauder to deal damage equal to its power to your opponent. Very bad against Freljord, where they can Frostbite, but in general, it's a great way to close out the game. Finally, we have our utility package. We have 3 copies of Trifarian Assessor, a 4 mana 4/3. And when it enters the battlefield, you draw 1 for each 5+ power ally you control. Marauders reach 5 power very easily after only 2 triggers, and if you have multiples, then they're getting even more triggers. So you should be able to have a ton of Marauders with a very high power point, so you should be able to draw a lot of cards off Trifarian Assessor, basically just to refill your hand after dumping cards. And then finally, we have 2 copies of Reckoning, the 6 mana slow spell. If you control a 5+ power ally, kill all 4 or lower power units on the board. It basically just clears the board for Marauders to swing through and just helps you deal with aggro decks that are going too fast for your Marauders to keep up with. And that's it. So let's get into some games and show you how the deck works. Alright, game 1 here. Looks like we'll be playing against Karma Ezreal combo. Let's see if we can jank him out with Legion Marauder. Alright, opening hand here. Atrocity is definitely not a card I really want in hand. Trifarian Assessor is not great with what we got here, so then the question is, do we want to keep the Katarina or the Callista? I think we don't want this Katarina. She should die pretty easily to what they have. Callista, I think, is worth it, because at the very least, Callista's going to take some hate cards from our opponent. Let's just hope we can find our Legion Marauder now. Worst case scenario with double Callistas, we should be able to get a fair amount of damage through there, or at least draw a fair bit of hate. This Legion Drummer is definitely going to die, but at least that's 1 less removal spell he has that deals with Legion's Marauder. Yep. Actually, the fact that that pulled Thermogenic Beam's pretty good for us, because that answers a lot of our threats. And eventually our Marauders should get big enough, if he can't deal with them, that that's basically his only answer to them. I don't expect her to live here either. Oh wow, we've pulled 2 Thermogenics, so that's good. Assuming we can actually find our Legion's Marauder, but his Ezreal is getting a little bit farther towards leveling, but okay, well, Callista will definitely not die this turn. I don't really imagine she'll actually be able to hit on the next turn, but we're certainly going to try. At some point here, we are going to have to pull a Get Excited from him, so that'll help deal with this large card. card the advantage they got going. And Will Vionia's not too bad. The problem is he's gonna level up this Ezreal very quickly.
We shall pierce their treasonous hearts.
Not looking great. Not with Ezreal at 3 of 8. Ah, there we go. At least we've got a Marauder now.
I thought you'd never ask.
Alright, well we do have to take the hit from this Ezreal.
Night falls.
I think we're just gonna wait and see what he does with this fleeting Mystic Shot, or bank the mana. Because if we just run out this Marauder, it dies instantly to that.
Charge!
Alright, now is the trickier part. I think we run out this Marauder.
Let's have some fun.
Alright, we're gonna play Legion Drummer.
With the heartbeat of Noxus.
I know he has another removal spell in hand. Okay, well now we can get away with this Marauder. Not necessarily feeling great about our position here, but we are definitely going to be getting some Marauder triggers.
I got ways to find me mushrooms.
Yeah, I think we just go to combat. If I try to cast Splinter Soul, he's gonna kill whatever Marauder I target. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do this. This Callista's not gonna be able to level up, almost certainly, but something here is gonna die, which is gonna give us Black Spear. So if he can't actually level his Ezreal up this turn, we should be able to kill it. And I have a feeling he'll take the damage from this one Marauder at least. Wow. That's, bold. Does prevent us from Black Spearing though, so that's a little scary. If he can't kill these Marauders though, we're gonna draw a couple cards off this Trifarian Assessor. Interesting. That makes me feel like he's not doing great on removal. Ooh, another Marauder. That's pretty good for us. This Ezreal at 4 of 8 though is definitely scary. Ooh, another Blood for Blood. All right. Well, we can't do anything about that. This is definitely going to be a close one. He should be able to find enough, I think. Do we actually just draw more cards here? I think we might. Yeah, let's draw more cards. We're kind of looking for Reckoning at this point. Yeah, we don't really care about that.
Firing.
I suppose I could always just call it back, but he doesn't have a lot of blockers. We're gonna play another Marauder. Probably gonna look to Blood for Blood and maybe Rearguard just to get some more attackers out here.
Reporting in.
Okay, now we can do Blood for Blood. Ezreal's at 5 of 8. Big question here is, do we just go to combat? Oh, that was a Thermogenic he lost. That's pretty good. We could swing with a ton of Legion's Marauders here, but chances are he has an answer to that. I mean, if we swing, he takes 3 damage, potentially. I think we do just go straight to combat here. He's going to have a hard time killing the Marauders, just straight up, so chances are he's going to have to block with a ton of things. If one of these Assessors live and all the Marauders, we can always play Chronicler and kill one of these to draw a card. Although that doesn't give us enough mana, so maybe we have to do Splinter Soul and kill one of these. I mean, you can definitely see how the Marauder package here gets pretty scary. Because, I mean, like, they're 8/7s already. Yeah, I don't think he understands how Jury Rig works. We'll take that. We take those.
You cannot escape.
For those who don't know, Jury Rig, when you cast it with a full board, even if you've got a empty back line and a full front line, it still deletes it. You can't have 6 here and 6 here. Alright, well. We'll see what happens.
Shadow.
Ideally, we're hoping he can't deal with any of these. We're gonna miscall, I think, just to see... I mean, we'll definitely hit Trifarian off that, so... Okay, that's good for us. It will... Like, his Ezreal's almost certainly going to level up next turn. We're hoping to hit Reckoning, but nope, no such luck there. Maybe we just play... Well, no, we still have to... We definitely have to draw cards here. So... I guess Chronicler of Ruin, sack and revive. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, that was some unlucky beats there. That Atrocity was all we needed to win the game. Not ideal for us, that's for sure. Alright, well, we need to get rid of some of these cards in hand. So we're going to play Rearguard and sack Rearguard. Because we need to empty enough of our hand for Reckoning. This is still definitely our best card here. Even though he probably has Denies in hand. Yep. Nothing we can do about that. The question is, can he kill us? He can do at least 6 damage, so we're probably dead here. Like, he fires this at anything on our board, then probably casts enough spells, and it should be lethal. But we'll see if he has it. He might not. Really unlucky that that Atrocity was the last draw there. If we had gotten the Atrocity, we actually probably could win here. Basically, he would Mystic Shot, and in response, we would sack this 8/6 and fling it at him. So we definitely got a little bit unlucky there, but that's the nature of the game. Man. 5 copies, though, and that's not even counting all these Fading Memories or Splinter Souls. Interesting. Yeah, so let's see. That'll level him up. This is 4 damage, down to 5. Down to... Yep, that's game. Well, we'll get him next time. Alright, game 2 here. Looks like we'll probably be playing against SD Aristocrats. On the bright side, they should have very few blockers. This Reckoning's actually probably huge. But no Legions Marauders, so I'm going to shuffle away the rest of that hand. Alright, this looks a lot better. Reckoning could be really big. We'll see how it goes. Because it's also possible their creatures get bigger than that. And obviously it could be pretty bad for us too if it's a bunch of 1-cost last breath things that we're just killing and getting into the graveyard for them. No Cursed Keeper on turn 2 though, so that's pretty good for us. I think we do lead on this Legion's Marauder.
What do we got here?
Ooh, we do have the Oblivious Islander Fading Memories combo here, so I can use Oblivious Islander to make the copy of him a little bit cheaper anyways. It's not a huge combo, but useful. And we do have Blood for Blood available here. Okay, so I think we're gonna take this attack regardless. Yeah, we're gonna go for this. He's probably gonna trade here, but we can use Blood for Blood. So this kills his creature, plus we get another copy in hand. Alright, so we've gotten one trigger so far.
Remember the fall.
Yeah, he'll draw a card, but that's alright. So now we could probably play Legion Marauder, Fading Memory it, and then Oblivious Islander to thin the cost on it.
Anyone hurt?
I think that is what we're gonna go for here. Yeah, we're gonna go for that. Play the Oblivious Islander. Play the Oblivious Islander, cheapen that.
It's dark, eh?
Yeah, so we're probably set up to go Callista Legion Marauder next turn. Ooh, Blood for Blood is actually pretty good. Now we have to think. Because we could do this plus Blood for Blood. Let's play this and see what he does. Because the risk here is if we play Callista and he trades with both of these, then we have nothing to Blood for Blood. So I think the safe play is to go Blood for Blood. Although it will be hard for him to trade. Now we're gonna go for this, the Blood for Blood play. There's no way he actually takes that hit, does he? That'd be very, very foolish. Alright, let's see if he has a pump spell. Actually, it's tempting just to Blood for Blood it. Oh wait, no. We Blood for Blood this one then. There we go. And that'll give us another Legion Marauder in hand. Because if we do it here, he dies. We want to keep as many of those around as possible.
Man overboard.
I can't believe he actually traded with the whatchamacallit, Escaped Abomination. Alright. That's a little scary. But let's see, so that's 10, 13 damage. We do live through that. Let's see what he goes for here, because we can fire off a Reckoning. Which is probably our best play. Okay, so we're going to Reckoning. Hopefully he doesn't have single combat. If he does, that's the game. Oof. Yeah, that's, probably the game there. One HP the dream. Let's see.
Have some fun.
Yeah, I don't think there's really anything we can do here to win this game at this point. I guess we'll draw a card, see what happens. Yeah, that's gonna be the game there. Try and think what we even have here that could work. I mean, maybe if we draw a Reckoning and they're stupid and don't attack, but that's not how it works. Yeah. That's the game. Alright, looks like this one's going to be against IN aggro. Be my best guess here. A little unorthodox, but not that crazy. Do we want the Blood for Blood? No, I don't think so. We might actually keep the Katarina here. Whew! Well, kind of glad we kept the Katarina, because this is a pretty aggressive aggressive hand here.
Give me a sweet bun.
Interesting. I didn't really expect this to be an Inspiring Mentor deck. It's probably gonna block here, I would imagine.
How did that move go?
He thought about it though. There's no way he's running like Navori Conspirator, right? That seems really unlikely.
I have unfinished
Interesting. Weird. Did not expect that from this deck.
again.
Really raised the question of whether we just go straight for 6 damage or if we play one of these. And if we do, which one do we play? Because this is going to give us a leveled up Katarina. Basically guaranteed. Callista, though, he might not have a way to trade with it. Other than Silent Shadow Seer.
I have my orders.
Okay, that's pretty good.
I'll do better.
We're just gonna go to combat. See if he wants to block. If not, he takes 10 down to 10. Which puts us in a pretty good position. Oh, he's actually gonna trade with Callista. Okay. I mean, that's pretty great, actually. We just took a Elixir and a Legion Saboteur away from him, and he still took 6 damage. That's actually a pretty positive trade for us. Ooh, Legion Drummer is pretty good. We're actually getting to the point that, like, we may not find a Legion Marauder, but still win this game.
I keep step with the heartbeat of Noxus.
See what he does.
You're left unguarded.
Interesting. I don't think we really care about the Legion Drummer that much. So I think we're fine just letting her die here and not doing Fading Memories of her. Oblivious Islander. Decisions. I think we'll do this
Fresh
combo.
catch? Well, it was fresh.
Hey, Krabby!
Okay, we're gonna kill that. Although maybe we would rather kill Silent Shadow Seer. I might actually Splinter Soul copy this Katarina.
I have unfinished business.
Alright, we're gonna go to combat.
Blood for Noxus.
Okay, ready.
Yeah. Drops him to 1. Alright, so he has to block. Or else we Blade's Edge kill him.
You know not what you do.
I assume he's gonna probably try... Wow. Interesting. Huh. Okay. I mean, we're fine with that trade. And we basically turned Splinter Soul into a second Katarina with this.
Make the path lead.
We definitely don't want him to have more Silent Shadow Seers.
See you soon.
We're in a pretty good position here. Ooh.
They picked the wrong road.
How worried are we of dying to flyers here? Because I can copy the Green Glade duo with Fading Memories and play one to block. I think we're just going to go for Katarina here.
No going back.
And go to combat. And these Death Lotuses will basically kill his entire board if he tries to block. Yeah, we take this damage. We're fine with that.
Blood for Noxus.
He has to block the Katarina. So one of these has to die from that. Well, I suppose he could have Will of Ionia.
Looking for this?
Yeah, we're gonna go for the Death Lotus, I think. If he has Deny, he has Deny. Well, I suppose we probably shouldn't have gone for that, but... but we got there. No Legions Marauders, but... Alright, looks like this one's going to be against Banner Scouts. This will be a little bit sketchy, but our Legions Marauders can go bigger than anything in their deck. It's just their deck is pretty fast. Considering that, I think even without the Marauder here, we're going to keep this package, because this is extremely aggressive, and they should have a hard time dealing with it. Because this is a turn 2 leveled up Katarina.
Or is dark, eh?
We'll definitely take the trade if he offers it. Yeah.
No going back.
We do lose Blade's Edge here, but we're not that worried about it.
Blood for Noxus.
We'll attack with everything. Okay. That's totally fine. Like, worst case scenario was he blocked Logan's Islander with 4 chefs, and then Fleet Feather blocked her, but this is ideal for us. We're fine with that. We got rid of his challenger.
Strength and grace.
Beauty in the blade.
Yeah, we definitely don't play Legion Rearguard here.
Batter 'em! Eat 'em, friend!
I could just bank this mana and do Katarina plus Splinter Soul, but I don't think that's actually good.
Reporting in?
I don't think that helps us in any way. This call is interesting.
Never play fair.
One banner, one destiny.
Yeah, well, we definitely attack with her. Shame we can't find our Legion's Marauder though, because that's definitely what we need for this matchup.
Head to the face, can't fight on an empty stomach!
Can't block, so... Yeah, not looking great. But, do we go for an extra Katarina attack, or do we play this Callista out? Yeah, we play the Callista out. Katarina is not actually going to win us the game. They will start blocking if they have to.
I've got your back.
Single combat, maybe? We have the missed call, so it's not the worst. That, however, is the worst. Alright, what can we do here? We can Fading Memories block something, or... Yeah, I think that's what we do. Fading Memories, copy the Brightsteel. He'll rally here. We play Brightsteel, protect the Katarina. Although I think we're still dead, right?
My shield is yours.
Harry, report.
Yeah, we should be
Feel
dead
the
here.
Sizzle! No one goes hungry!
Then we still take, yeah. Banner Scouts is pretty good. Alright, playing against Noxus Freljord, probably mid-range. Could be Yetis. The Katarina. Let's see if we can find our Marauders. I don't like any of these cards, honestly, in this specific matchup. Blood for Blood would be good if I had the Marauder, but yeah, I think Marauders should be pretty good here. The question is whether we want to... no, I think we actually go... Yeah, we go for the Katarina play here.
Well, it was fresh.
There's definitely... If they have, which they probably do have Frostbite, that's a bit of a punish for us if we... Yeah, I think we just swing here. We're gonna rely on this later when he's not as prepared for it, because I guarantee he's got Frostbite in hand. I mean, it's an Ash deck, so if we play her and swing, he'll Frostbite the Katarina, she'll do no damage, and then she dies from being ephemeral, so... It's definitely not in our best interest to
Anyone hurt?
run her out there. Okay, so he's gonna Avalanche. A little unfortunate, because now we don't really want to run this into it, because probably gonna Avalanche again. It's definitely a mid-range deck, so very weird that they're including Katarina and Avalanche in the same deck, but To each their own, I suppose. We're gonna run out this Katarina. Mostly to hopefully draw some removal or frostbite, one of the two. Because we're definitely looking to set up a Legion Marauder plus Chronicler rune.
A true Freljordian
Okay, well, we can kill that.
This might hurt.
Now the question is, do we go for the might play? I think we do. It probably has an answer, but we just kind of want to force it out of his hand. Interesting. Not sure why he even bothered blocking in that case, but since she's maybe he doesn't realize she's ephemeral. I guess there's no cost to blocking, so he might as well, but
Our strength is yours.
it's not looking great for us right now.
Today we fight as
We're really
one.
looking for like a missed call would be great with this Legion Marauder, so we could just run it out. Just waiting until 7 mana for this is not going to feel good. I think we just play an Assessor to block, honestly.
Many tribes under one
Yeah.
banner.
I mean, good thing we did play it to block. So we have to survive next turn. Oh man, whatever he draws next is gonna be huge. So we're probably playing another Assessor here, just to block.
The right to call
Alright, well, his Assessor's slightly worth more.
Serve.
So then here we take 8 down to 6. Yeah, it's not yeah.
Banner will lead
This
the way.
game's definitely over, but
This will be quick.
you can play it out.
I misjudged.
Let's have some fun.
Go for it. See if he has another avalanche. I think he does, because he's thinking about it. Yeah, that's fine. Not sure what he's thinking about here, but see if he has his own reckoning. His worth slightly more than mine at the moment. This game is definitely over, though. There's nothing we could do on the crackback here. And we'll swing with Legion Marauder, see what happens. He's probably going to trade with one of the Omen Hawks, though, because that makes the most sense. Yep. So we should be dead here, as long as he plays correctly on this next turn.
Faster than my
Yeah, no,
arrow?
that's it.
I think
We're not even gonna bother. There's no avenue for winning here. Alright, let's see if we can actually find our Legion's Marauders. The big problem with the deck being the whole concept is 3 cards in the deck. And a pretty unreliable way to get there, but oh, we did get one. So this is some sort of spooky Heimerdinger, apparently. Interesting. I think this is one where we go Legion's Drummer turn 2. Because either we could bank the mana for Blood, or we could play Legion Drummer, swing with it, set up a Legion Marauder the next turn. Although I don't think we actually... You know what? No, this is a control deck, so we're gonna bank the mana here for Legion Marauder. Or it is an all-in Teemo deck. Very interesting if they're using Shadow Isle then. Because I don't think that's the ideal choice for a Teemo deck, but you know, we'll play this Marauder and see what he does. Now we have two options. We can blood for blood, or we can miscall. Or just let us have it. Alright, cool. So we could play Legion Drummer. I think we do play Drummer here. She probably does die. But I assume, since it's a Heimerdinger deck, that he's got a lot of removal in the deck. Maybe not. Alright, well this is pretty good then. Is he just gonna take the 4? Or does he have, like, maybe Get Excited? Pitching one of these Mushroom Clads? Alright. We definitely don't want to use Blood for Blood unless he uses some of this mana. Alright. It's too easy for that to be a blowout. We'll take the 4 here. I could Splinter Soul, setting up a Chronicler Ruin. Yeah, we'll go for this. If he has an answer, we'll Blood for Blood to make a copy. And then we can miscall to bring it back. Because he doesn't have Deny. One of the big problems with going Shadow Isles instead of Ionia. Wow, he let us have it. Interesting. Puffcap Peddler, okay. Yep, he's going all in on this Puffcap plan. Nope, we were able to turn that one into a Legion Marauder, so we'll take those. Alright, bank the mana. The question is, do we go straight to combat? I think we do, actually. Just gonna go to put mushrooms in. Why did he wait till after that? Interesting. Would have been way better to do that last turn. Then wait till this turn, because then he would have got more chances for me to draw from it. Yeah, it's fine. We don't need to Blood for Blood. Because I can still Blood for Blood this one, and it'll be fine.
Answers, I have them.
I mean, we're not scared of a 1-mana spell from him, so it's definitely better for us to Reckoning now and just get rid of this Heimerdinger. Ooh, that's unfortunate. That is the 1-mana thing we were scared of, so...
2, 3, 4.
Oh well. We just have to hope we live long enough. We have potentially a ton of Legion's Marauders here.
Armed and ready. There's enough for everyone.
Okay, there's a chance he kills this in response, but then we can miscall it back and then Blood for Blood the new copy. Yep, that's what we were expecting. See what he has. Well, now even if he has Thermogenic, it won't be able to kill the Marauder in time, so we're gonna make a copy, we're gonna play Oblivious Islander, shrink the cost on the copy, and then next turn we're set up for copy plus Chronicler. Assuming we live through our draw step, which we have like 2 puff caps per card, we should be fine. Should be, quote unquote. Okay, static shock. It's a little bit rough, but
Sure is dark, eh?
alright, let's see what happens. Hope for the best. How many? Okay, only one. That's not bad.
Let's have some fun.
He does have a lot of mana, so...
So many years, so much misery.
Seems like he's going really removal light, or something is going wrong over there, because he's only... Like, he hasn't been using nearly as much removal as I was anticipating, so... I really thought this was a control shell that was going to use Puff Caps as wing condition, so either he's drawing horribly, or... that wasn't the plan all along. Should be pretty easy for him to kill these two. Withering Wail. Okay, so that does keep him alive. But he's gonna lose Timo here still.
Overboard.
I'm a little worried to play these Assessors. Like, we need to draw more cards, but it is possible that that just kills us. I'm assuming he has, like, an extra Timo, maybe. He can't play Heimerdinger, so that's good. Withering Wail seems like a really bad choice for removal package, but maybe he doesn't have a ton of them, and it just happens to be what he's drawn. Black Spear, interesting. So he's got to have a Get Excited. Like, Get Excited and Mystic Shot seems like what he's... Oh, he does have the Timo too, so... Pretty much worst case scenario. We'll see if he goes straight to combat. That's a little bit... Okay, so now we definitely can't play these Assessors. We definitely can't. It's too much of a risk. Because now we have, like, 3 to everything. Okay, we're gonna play this Katarina, though. Assuming we live. Whoa. Alright, well, if he has that Get Excited, we are dead. This is one of the games where we would have loved to have Atrocity. We definitely want to play this now. Maybe he doesn't have the burn spell, because I would think that if he did, he would have used it already. There's some big Legion Marauders. He's got to have something, though. He's got to have something. I'm assuming either... Because, like, he fired Black Spear at one of these. So he's got to have some way to kill it. Unless he had, like, a second Black Spear. But I assume he has Burn. I assume he has Burn to kill me. Withering Wail. Okay. That still has him dead. Alright. GG. Marauders got there.
Signing off.
Alright, so PZN Swain. I haven't seen PZN Swain buy. That's an interesting combo. I'm gonna guess it's pretty aggressive. It's probably a burn deck. So we probably want this Reckoning. And, oh man, unless we want the Katarina for the extra attacks. Alright. I think there's a chance we have to go really fast in this game, so having the Katarina to go with a Marauder might be the right choice. Fading Memories, we do have an extra copy. Oh, Missed Call's actually really good. Now we can do bank first 2 turns and play Marauder with a Missed Call up. There's a good chance we want to do Marauder next turn and then Katarina. and just take the chance. Ooh, blood for blood does.
If they don't break, they'll burn.
That is a lot of damage.
Make the Empire proud.
Let's have some fun.
Yeah, I think we're definitely looking for Reckoning at this point. And if that's the case, we probably fire a blood for blood. I see your blood for blood, and I raise you blood for blood. So we're probably going to go to 10 here, which is definitely a little bit rough. But
I love a taste of the action.
it'll get our one of our Marauders will get to whatchamacallit, 5 power if he can't kill them.
What do we got?
And that sets
here?
us up for Reckoning the next turn, which is probably our best chance of making it through this game. Okay, that's not bad.
You should have run.
I mean, it's kind of bad, but it's not that bad. Because he's probably going to trade here, but we still have a 5 power for this Reckoning, which is what we're looking
Let's see
for.
what you can do.
I have a feeling he's not running a ton of removal. He probably has some amount, but not a
Let me
ton.
show you what I can do.
So we are probably looking for Reckoning this turn. Unless he just goes straight to combat, then we will take the hit.
By all means, get in my way.
Yeah, I think we just cast this Reckoning now. He might have a way to pump this Aristocrat so that she lives through it, but then we can trade with our Marauder. And we'll use Fading Memories to generate a new copy. He's thinking it through. It makes me think he has Transfusion. Or a Kill Spell. Okay. That's not the worst. And he doesn't get an attack this turn, so that's pretty good for us. Yeah, I think what we're going to do is Fading Memories, create a copy here. And we're probably going to go for Miscall.
Anyone hurt?
See what he does. Oh, Swain, okay, Swain is already leveled up. But these do kill a Swain.
I can
Okay,
do
Boom
this.
Crew.
Look what
Definitely a little bit sketchy.
I didn't do anything.
Okay, so he's gonna take the block. That's pretty good for us. Okay, we're gonna miscall. At least we have blockers, but our life total is very low. I think we actually do wanna. Yeah, we do wanna draw some cards here. Let's see. We could blood for blood whatever he kills. Okay. Okay. Yeah, then nothing we can really do about that one. GG's. On to the next. Alright. I'm gonna guess that this is Boggles, the BD Fizz. No Fiora though, which seems like a bad choice, but I'm gonna guess it's really Fizz combo, standalone, etc., all that lovely jazz. Chronicler of Ruin, there's really not that much for us to use with it. I think we want to keep the Rearguard because we want to race this deck. The bright side is our Marauder should be relatively set. A large Fizz with like single combat will be a problem for us, but that's basically the only thing we're scared of. Yeah. So we're just gonna try to race him. BD Fizz has a very hard time keeping up with aggro decks, so that's basically all we have to worry about. It's just being faster than him, and this hand should definitely be able to do that. With Legion's Drummer and Legion Marauder and a Rearguard on turn 1, we're curving out perfectly here. That's definitely the best thing we can do. Ooh, this Katarina's pretty good too. That's tempting, but I think this is the correct line of play. Because even if he has standalone, this Legion Marauder would kill his Fizz, so you would need standalone plus Radiant Strike. I assume he has the standalone. Yep. So he did draw perfectly, but we should still be fine with that. I mean, this puts him to 10. And depending on what he goes for, we can always use this Atrocity to kill the Fizz at some point. Okay. Yeah, it's not too bad. Yeah, Legion Drummer's good. Actually, I think we are just setting up this Atrocity to kill him. Interesting. I'm not sure what he was thinking about playing there. Alright, let's go for this again.
You'll be sorry.
Oh, wow. That's... alright. Interesting.
Yep.
What are we worried about here? Yeah, I think we just go for this. He would need a pump spell plus single combat, so you'd need like standalone plus single combat. That seems really unlikely, and still that ends up with his Fizz dying, which is pretty good for us. Yep, there we go. And that's the game there. Marauder got there. That deck is pretty weak to aggro matchups, though, so I've played a lot of BD Fizz Fiora, and you have to have the Fiora to win those matchups, so really curious that he doesn't have the Fiora, but good for us, so we'll take those. So in review, we went 3-5 in our matches. We beat Spooky Timo Heimer and BD Fizz and Ionia Noxus Aggro, and then lost to a handful of decks, mostly meta decks. So the biggest takeaway here is it's definitely a fun deck if you like the whole synergistic aggro package of playing a bunch of Legion Marauders and getting them to really big stat lines. You can get to 8-6 or 10-9 pretty easily with them. The deck definitely is good at getting you multiple copies of Legion Marauder out and keeping them alive through removal. The aggro package is really good as well, so if you like that whole aspect, the deck's definitely fun to play. I wouldn't recommend it for tournament grinding, however, because as we saw, we lost to a handful of meta decks like PZI Ezreal, SD Aristocrats, Banner Scouts, FN Midrange with Ashe. We lost to Burn, although it was a Swain Vi mix, so it was a little bit off meta, but still, generally speaking, it was the Burn package. Basically, the deck's fun, it's just not highly competitive. I would definitely say, going forward, if I were to change anything about the deck, I would probably drop the one of Copy of Might for a second copy of Atrocity. It definitely would have won us that PZI Ezreal game. Basically cost us the game that we drew Atrocity as the last card and it got destroyed. If we had a second Atrocity, we might have actually been able to win that game. But otherwise, it seems very difficult to beat the meta decks with it, so I don't really recommend it for anyone trying to grind, but it's definitely a fun deck if that's the kind of gameplay you like. Alright, so just a little housekeeping at the end of the episode here. I want to give a big shout out to Saffron Olive from MTG Goldfish. He was a big inspiration for creating this series. I love his Against the Odds series, and I kind of wanted to make a similar thing for Legends of Runeterra. I think there's a lot of really underappreciated cards that create some very, very neat to play and neat to see decks, but aren't exactly optimal per se. So I thought it would be a fun thing to do. I've got a couple other ideas for different kind of shows that'll probably be coming out on this channel over the next couple of weeks. Some of them are pretty straightforward, some of them are a little more interesting, but I don't want to go into too many details until they're actually done. So there's not a set schedule going forward for when these episodes will come out, but I've got a handful of plans. I'll work on more Stiff Brews as well, and you can find that on this channel for the next couple of weeks. There'll be more stuff coming out. Thanks for watching, and hope you come check out my other videos.